Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Becca. I make illustration videos and now Sims builds as well because I love The Sims and it's fun. Woohoo. And today I'm building a cozy modern home. I had so much fun with this build, even when the roof made me stop and think for a very, very long time. It was fun and I loved it either way, and I love the way it turned out. It looked different and cute. As the speed build goes along, I will tell you guys why I decided to build it and all the little fun mysteries about it as well. So I saw this cute shell on Pinterest and I loved it so much and I wanted to see if I could build this. I knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge and I knew I would have some difficulties, but I was up to the task. It was a modern house and a fun way of living. That's kind of what I was thinking in the moment. It has a kitchen, a living area, a dining area, a study room, a bathroom, and a large bedroom with a cozy spot for your Sims to play on the computer or work freelance. It's up to you guys on that one. I built this imagining a Sim that just got their first house and they were super into modern architecture and wanted something small just for them. They wanted somewhere nice and friendly to live and wanted some room to live and enjoy life before taking any big crazy steps. This Sim just loves to hang out with friends and even has a small pool just to chill in the summer because summer's hot, we need a pool. We always need a pool. I was going to make this home for a writer when I was building this, but since I also love to write, and I mostly like to be by myself when I'm writing. I think this would be perfect for someone who does art, maybe even a gamer or a programmer. They're the kind of Sim that loves what they do and making a living out of their hobbies. Isn't that what we all strive for in the real life as well? Maybe. The house can be accommodated for a single Sim or a couple. It's up to you on how many Sims you want to place here, but I know that for me, I always make a couple. Whilst I'm building these houses on build mode and everything, I do normally just use one Sim to go around playtesting it to make sure everything is playable and they don't get stuck somewhere around the house, because that can happen. I also love The Sims because this game gives us so many possibilities of making homes and the play wise of everything. The way we want them to look and feel. I just love it. So I guess I can say that my imagination runs wild when I'm on build mode because everything I build is something that I'll look at it and be like, would I live in this house in a real life? And most of the time, I really would build a house like this and live it. Yeah, I would definitely build a house like this and live in it. 100%, not gonna lie. I had a problem when I was trying to get the floor planning right. I am not gonna lie to you guys about this. I changed it quite a bit until I got it to look the way I wanted it to look. I wanted to make a huge living room, a small kitchen area, and a small dining area, but I ended up changing that a lot. I changed so many things. It just drove me crazy. I was going to put like a little bathroom in the bottom as well so I could make like the top off like a really big bedroom, but it didn't really work out the way I was planning either. So I just went with this small study room kitchen area. It's very small because I ended up dividing it perfectly. And I made some changes to the ground level for both the dining area and the kitchen. I wanted it to be a bit different from the homes I was building. It had a few changes, yes, I will admit that. But in the end, I think it kind of still ended up looking the same. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think, but I still think I made a couple of pretty changes. I was first planning on making a balcony so my Sims could sit and talk and eat their food from, like, they can have breakfast, eat their food from there, and have a cute small table so they could have like lunch and dinner. But I eventually scrapped that idea and I went a bit crazy. I decided to make sure that the dining area had a half wall on the side so you could see the kitchen perfectly. But it wouldn't distract you when you sat down to eat your meals. And that's kind of what I went with. And I actually loved it a lot because it looks so pretty. It looks so cute, especially after when I add in windows. It just has like this pretty view. I loved it. Even though I still felt that I kind of made a similar thing already, but I still loved it. I think it's just my way of furnishing everything. It's just my decoration style, I guess. So for the living area, well, it went a bit crazy. I went a bit crazy on trying to decorate that room. I had to figure out where I wanted to place the windows and the door leading to the backyard. I had to figure out where I wanted to the couch, the TV, the coffee table to where I wanted like all of them where I wanted everything to be, and I still hadn't placed down any paint on the walls. The walls were just like there was no paint on the walls. I do end up adding paint to the walls later on due to the fact that I wanted to get the feel of the room first. That is why I haven't painted anything yet. I already knew that I wanted the house to have a like darker furniture, mostly on the first floor, and the house itself, I wanted it to be like a dark brown. Like the roofing right now, it's a bit darker. I do end up lightening a bit. It's black. It's a blackish kind of thing, but I do end up lighting it later. I just wanted to make sure that the surrounding area, I had the right feel to the house, and that the Sims that lived here had fun and loved their surroundings. I do end up changing the stairs as well because since I wanted a modern vibe to the house, I also wanted there to be something different in it as well, so I chose the stairs to be 100% different. I decided to go with climbing stairs and not your traditional one. I hope it counts as exercise because my Sims barely get any, and this was the perfect way for them to do it. So I hope that counts. I was planning on making the second floor a balcony, and I ended up scrapping that as well and just added a roofing to the backyard's balcony. I also decided to add one more roof to the house. I didn't really like it without that part, like it was flat and it kind of looked weird and out of place. But for the backyard roof, I liked it flat and I had no problem with it whatsoever. I do end up changing the other part that also ends up flat, which is where the bed goes on the second floor. I made it a bit thicker because I do think that does end up being a bit. It looked a bit too thin, but I do end up unfortunately doing that afterwards, and I didn't record it for some reason. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. So I started adding even more life to the first floor of this house, making sure that it looked cute but still modern. I had to make sure that all the clutter was placed where I wanted it to be because I kept thinking that even though the Sim loves the modern style, they still have some clutter everywhere, and it's just their way of making sure that the house is the way they like it. It's home. I added some books on top of the fridge so that it looked like the Sim loves cooking and has some handy recipes to wow their guests when they get here. I used a lot of furniture from the Vampires pack since I love vampires, and I would love to think that this Sim also loves vampires as much as I do and has a whole bunch of conspiracy theories on them. This is one of the reasons I have hung up so many paintings. I think this sim would brag to their friends that they have vampire friends, or better yet, a vampire lover. It would explain the reason why they bought this house and why most of the furniture is so dark and edgy. I was planning on making a secret entrance behind the dining area, but when I play tested it, my sim got stuck there and couldn't get back up. I was planning on making it so it was like their sim's secret lair, and her lover stays there and sleeps in the mornings and only wakes up at night. And she tells all of her friends that he isn't a morning person, he loves to work at night. He's a night owl, that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, it didn't work out the way I planned it, so I had to make some smaller and minor details to what I wanted to do with the rest of the house. I started putting some paint on the walls and making sure that I kept up with what I was planning. I placed a really nice rug in the living area and went on to making sure that it had nice lighting. I eventually do come back and change it as well to make it more cozier, and I also changed the position of the coffee table. For some reason, when I went to play test it, I found out that there wasn't enough space for them to turn on the TV and sit down. So by moving it a bit forward, they managed to sit and watch the TV at the same time. I placed a radio in the kitchen area so they can also listen to their favorite songs while they cook. I started placing color on the outside of the house and I made it black, but I didn't really like it, so I changed it to a lighter tone, but still keeping the dark aesthetic that I wanted. I made the living area a paler shade of gray and I loved it so much. I mean, it simply went well with how the room was coming along. I went to the front of the house to see how I would place the landscaping. I placed some lighting in the front door so our Sims can see who's, at the door. I placed a bench outside so it looked more homey. I like to think that my sim can go outside and read, or just wait for her vampire lover to arrive and they can have a cute time watching the neighborhood. Not creepy at all. I really hate the fact that I can't add the fence on the border of the homes. It always gives me a weird feeling like the lot isn't the size they say it is. Since we're not using 100% of the land that came with it, but I think we can add landscaping to it, and that kind of makes things better in some way. I love the way I did the landscaping on this one, and I'm not gonna lie, my favorite part is the mailbox. It matched the outside of the house so much, and it made it so cozy and so cute. I wasn't planning it to be that cute, but I just loved how it went with it, and I think I'm gonna use this style on another house as well. I placed a tree in front of the house, just to make it a bit different. I didn't really add any plant pots because this sim doesn't really like gardening, and the only plants she does have is the ones that she bought or was given to her, or just simply the ones that came with the lot. So that's practically the landscaping. You can see my sim there because I was playtesting this house to make sure that everything was going according to plan. This is when I discovered the problem with the coffee table and had to move it a bit. I moved back to the back of the lot and I was pretty not sure what I was going to do there. I had no clue what I was going to do there first. But later on, I decided to add some cozy lights and a couch. I also added another table outside and a telescope so she could watch the night sky. Oh yeah, and she's sitting on a couch because I forgot to say that she was sitting on a couch to watch the night sky, but she could also be sitting on the floor. I don't think that has any problem, right? No. I used the tool mod on this lot for some of the objects like the lighting and also the curtains, which unfortunately some of the curtains were kind of glitching. Like, it wasn't glitching, they just disappeared after I used the tool mod and I saved and went back into the lot, but it's okay. It's fixed, everything is working because I checked. I added some landscaping in the back of the house as well. I added a small little pool and I wanted to make add a little barbecue as well, so she can have a little barbecue with her friends, hang out, have some fun. It's a really small pool, but it's a small house for two people. They need some entertainment. They need some fun and excitement. So I decided to just add the little living area for them there, just to have fun and not worry about stuff. I must say, I did forget to add more lights to the back of the house, and that kind of did get me a little bit sad. I also added a rug to the back of the house as well because I just wanted the rug to be nice and cozy with a little coffee table. You can just sit or watch the stars or just chat. I wanted something cute, but still in the way that I was doing the house. I'm still messing with the landscaping here because I added these really big bushes, but then I decided to just make them smaller because I think it vibed better with the back of the house, making the bushes a bit smaller and only leaving the bigger ones for the front of the house because it gave it like a momentum, and at the back of the house it kind of it wasn't really nice. If you saw me moving the little barbecue area there at the back, it's because I play tested it and it was too close to the table, and my sim managed to set it on fire, so I had to move it a bit back. That is the reason why. So here I'm messing with the leveling of the dining area, and I wanted to put my layer over there as I said previously, but things didn't work out so well, so I removed the portraits as well and just made it cleaner. I did take a while to figure out where I wanted to place the stairs so my Sims could actually go down because it was a bit high and it ended up needing some stairs. I'm making more adjustments to the curtains right now with the tool mod just because I just wanted to place them higher than it wanted to be placed. I also found a trick that later on you can just move the window and place the curtain where you want and then add the window back, and so you don't have to torture yourself that much, because I did a lot. I eventually fixed the cupboards in the kitchen and leveled them out so it doesn't show on the top floor. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. I also add some color to the gap I made at the stairs for the lower level in the bathroom, so the kitchen and the dining area. For the kitchen and the dining area. Words are not wording. I finally changed the stairs and make it more worky, like workout, woohoo. For my Sims, I can honestly say they probably hate stairs. I would too. I changed the bathroom door and add some paintings on the walls, but I'm going to change that, so I just made a floor pan for my second floor room, to be honest, and honestly, I was really angry at the time because I thought I wasted my time, but in the end, I actually didn't, so I'm pretty glad I did all of that because I kept the way it looked on the outside, but not really the way it looked on the inside. But yeah, it's okay. I forgive myself for that. It still looked pretty. As you can see, I went back to the living area and I decided to put some lights and make it even cozier, and I'm so glad for that. I really wished I'd stopped fidgeting with this bathroom because just looking at it now whilst I'm recording just makes me so angry because I wasted so much time on this. Well, I could have just been doing the floor, like the second floor, the bedroom and everything, but it's okay. Everything worked out for the best. Here I am starting on the second floor. Thank the heavens. I did a lot of tweaking on the second floor. Removed windows. I added more things to it. It was a bit complicated at first, but in the end, I actually liked the results a lot. As you guys can see, I am starting to literally take down the downstairs bathroom because I realized that I don't need the bathroom downstairs. I can just put him upstairs. Okay, are people gonna come into my house and have to go to the bathroom and go upstairs? No problem. But either way, I still really loved the way I did the design. I loved how it looked in the end. And I thought the bathroom was going to be a bit too small, but I eventually pulled the wall a bit further away so I could make a little secret entrance on the other side where the roof is. And you have your washing machine and your dryer on that side, so you can just have your clothes washed and dried there, and no one will ever know it's there. Except for the bookcase that I did place in this bathroom as the secret door. But I actually just did that because I'm the kind of person who likes to read in the bathroom. So for me, it would be something so normal. Oh, it's a bookcase. That's what I would think. I wouldn't go messing around in people's property. So yeah. The room, I did make it a bit darker. I think it's the darkest room in the entire house because mostly bedrooms, I have this thing that I need to have the walls a bit darker. Even though my room right now does not have the walls a bit darker, but I would definitely have the walls a bit darker. And since the walls were so dark, I decided to place all the furniture. I made it a bit lighter so it wouldn't have such a it had a contrast because of the light aesthetic that I put, and I loved it so much. I think it vibed so well with this house. I also did remove that window from the side of the bedroom. I was kind of like, why the hell would I have a window there? That's so weird. Like, you're waking up, imagine you're waking up in the morning and you have like people passing through and staring and looking at you sleep. So I do eventually take that window out as well. So I actually do eventually move that hamper over there. No, I put it on the other side because that's where the secret door is gonna go. And right now I'm just figuring out what I'm going to be doing in this room. And I just found it so relaxing to build this upstairs this upstairs room, like the bathroom and everything. I do go downstairs again, as you guys can see. I kind of place a couple of things that I forgot. Like the coat hanger, I wanted a little coat hanger, which I forgot. I was gonna place this. I did try and do it with the tool mod, but it kind of disappeared. But I already re-added it again to like the game, so it's okay. I added it with another trick that I found out, that if you want to move objects up or down, you can just use a 9 and 0. 9 goes up, 0 goes down. And I found out that, and it just made my life so much easier. So here I am unbuilding everything I did in the downstairs bathroom, and I'm turning it into a small little study room. I'm going to add another window, and I'm placing a bookcase. I was gonna have another bookcase like right next to it, but I didn't really like the placing of it, so I kind of ended up changing everything around. But I just really wanted that little bookcase over there. I thought it would be nice. I was gonna put it on the upstairs bedroom, but I thought that it had enough things there already, so I just removed the one on top where I placed the chessboard and the chair. I am in love with these side couches. I just simply love these side couches from this game. They are so pretty. If I can, I'm going to add these side couches to everywhere. All of my builds will have the side couch. I simply love it. It is so pretty, and I had to add this here. I was gonna add it to the backyard, but I was like, no, I've already used this in another build. I'm not gonna do the same thing again. So I did add it to the study area, and I thought it looked so cute because it has this peachy orangey look, and it went so well with the tiles and everything in the room, and I just simply love it. And when I start adding the lighting, I do make the lighting very cozy, so we have more light where you sit and you would read the book that's like next to the windows, so I really enjoyed that as well. Here I'm adding clutter. I love adding clutter, and I think, as I said, this sim would love clutter, even though she tries to portray this whole super moderny kind of aesthetic look for her, because look at my house, it's so modern and so different from everybody else's. I decided that she would totally have so much clutter everywhere in her house, and I just vibed so much with the cluttering. It was actually really nice to do, and I could just clutter a house in this game for such a long time. It is so fun. Here, I'm still spending time on the tool mod because I only found out how I could do the whole entire thing later. I do still have to use the tool mod to be able to move the curtain to where I want it to be. So I did have to place it and then use the tool mod over there, but I was okay with that. I just didn't know that I could simply just use the 9 and 0 because, as I said in like last week's video, I haven't played The Sims in a really long time. So this was my way of getting back into The Sims and literally remembering everything I have forgotten in years. So right now I'm just cluttering the bathroom because, as I said, I love cluttering bathrooms, and I'm using my little clutter shelf, which is so fun. I placed some cute little plants on top of shelves and everything. I was going to do another kind of shelf with reading and everything. You can actually see it right there, but I actually ended up deleting that shelf for the simple fact that it wasn't really working out. When I play tested it, the sim would not go into the bathroom. She would not go into the bath. She would not take a bath. So I decided to take it out, but I did leave the little self-care shelf right there. I just added it right to the corner of the bathtub, so it kind of like, okay, she still has her little cup there and her little book, so when she's taking a bath she can still read, so it would be fun, and I really enjoyed that as well. Here I'm just starting to clutter the room and the little side table that I put for as an office for her to work. I was gonna put more shelves on the side as well, but I decided not to do that because I thought there was already too many shelves in this bedroom, and it kind of was giving me a it was just giving me a weird vibe. Okay, remember when I said I added those tomes at the bottom? I took it out and I decided to add it on in the bedroom. I just found it prettier. I liked it more, so I don't blame myself for it. I just found it better. So I just decided to just go cluttering this room and filling the shelves and making it more like a normal person's house as well, because I really had no I was in a moment that I just wanted to see like everything I did, and I wanted it to be so pretty. And the more I messed with the cluttering, the more I messed with this room, it started feeling more homey for me. So I had a lot of fun with that. I added my little PC there to make it so she can work. So I am still deciding on what my sim is actually going to become. I'm either on programming, which I think would be an actual really nice thing for her to be a programmer, or I'm literally maybe on the maybe side. I might make her go into arts, but then I'll have to add a little art corner for her and everything. But right now I'm still deciding on which one I want, but I still like the way I did everything in this room. I love the cluttering of the desk. It made it feel more real, especially if I turn her into a programmer. It will actually make more sense because there are a lot of books on the there's a lot of books on top of her desk that she can reference. She has more books on the shelves next to her wardrobe and everything. So I really loved this whole take I did. And I love adding these files. I know these files are supposed to be for the detective, but I always like to think of them as important documents, like for the fact that it could be the deeds to the house or something like that. And she keeps it safe and far from everyone's eyesight, and it's just like in the middle of the clutter so nobody can see. So I really, that's technically the vibe I went with. I also, like I said, I removed that window from the side and I added paintings there, and I went with the paintings from the vampires pack simply because I really needed to have those paintings there to go with the narrative of the story of her simply being like a vampire lover, and her lover is technically a vampire. And that's why the room is also very cozy and very dark. So I really enjoyed that a lot. So now I'm going to leave you guys with the screenshots, and thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making this. I'm having so much fun creating these sim houses, and I will see you guys next week for more videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more, and thank you guys so much for being here. Bye guys!